Hey, I'm Brandon, joined here by my buddy Pat. We've seen him a few thousand times wearing the Icon Motorhead3 jacket, coming in around $350. The Motorhead 2 came out in the spring of 2016, so it's been a few years since we've seen an update on this one, and I am happy to say that I like the updates that they made with the Motorhead 3. I think they're very tasteful, and I think they're going to be beneficial to a lot of riders out there. But before we get into all those details, I do want to talk about the overall fit, because that is pretty important. I've got Pat here. He's about 220 pounds, 6 feet tall, with a 44-inch chest, currently wearing a size XL, and that is certainly true to what that sizing chart is going to recommend. Typically, Pat teeters around in Icon gear. He can go with a large or an XL because Icon's a bit more on the American side of the spectrum, but we found that the XL is fitting him well. Now, one thing to note, there is a vent on the front of this jacket, right where the zipper is. Pat, could you go ahead and set that up for us just so we can get a closer look at it? And that is actually going to have an effect on the overall sizing because it's going to give you a little bit of additional room in the chest. So keep that in mind. I like this functionality. I like the addition here because it is going to move a good amount of airflow right there through the front of the jacket. But keep that in mind when it comes to the fit, that it is going to make it a bit more relaxed. I don't think it's enough to justify going down a full size, but for some of you out there that might be teetering in the middle and knowing you're going to be using this jacket predominantly in the summer with this vent open, it is something to think about because you're going to get, about another inch or two, and it does help it feel a little bit more relaxed there in the front. But again, $350 will ship to you for free, and as always, we do have our price match policy in place that is there to ensure that you're getting the best deal around. Now, you're looking at a full grain leather main construction, and on the inside we've got a drop thermal, and then we have a removable waterproof liner in there as well. That's a drop waterproof liner. A bit of a caveat with that, I'll get into more of the details once we open up the jacket, but I like the additional waterproof liner in there and the additional versatility that having a thermal and a waterproof combination gives riders out there. Allows them to stretch the seasonality a bit more. Let's start here at the top of the jacket. Nice neoprene lined around the collar, not overly tall there, and then you're going to get some vents right here at the top of the collarbone, right there at the shoulder. I like that addition. That's a new upgrade here, and I like that because a lot of riders might have windscreens and things like that, so if all your ventilation is just right there on the chest, you don't have anything up top, I think it's going to help scoop up some air and get some additional airflow moving through there. And then of course we have the addition of that front vent too, so certainly going to get some airflow moving through this jacket. I like that little upgrade there. As we work our way down the shoulder as well as the elbow, you're also going to find D3O armor. This is their CE level 1 D3O LP1 shoulder and elbow armor, and you're going to get D3O armor at the back as well. But I like D3O. It flows a good amount of air. It moves very well with the body. It can take multiple impacts, and I think it's pretty comfortable. Now, as we continue working our way down the arm, they added some additional stretch here at the back of the elbow, and you've got some additional stretch on the inside of the arm as well, just to help with the overall comfort. And as I mentioned before, you do have some armor right there at the elbow as well. Now, as we work our way to the wrist, very straightforward, just a single zipper main entry there, but it is a two-way zip, so you can actually open this up. You can open it from the top, and that's just going to help with some additional ventilation. So you can have this all the way closed down, bring that zipper down, and that's going to get some extra airflow moving through the jacket itself and through the arm. So certainly beneficial to a lot of riders out there, especially if you're on a bit more of a sport bike when you're hunched down. I think those vents right there at the shoulder and the arm are certainly going to help make a difference for you in the summer. Swinging over to the chest, big Icon logo here, slight perforation as you can see, and then we've got that large front vent incorporated as well. And on the sides, we're getting more stretch. So Pat, go ahead and face that direction for me. Strike that riding position. Thank you, sir. You can see that accordion at the back of the elbow there, just make it a little bit more comfortable. But I like all the stretch that they've implemented on the Motorhead 3 with this jacket. It just helps with the overall comfort and just mobility. So you can be, on a more aggressive sport bike, and it's just going to help with the overall comfort. So I like that upgrade in comparison to the Motorhead 2. Large vents right here at the back as well, or exhaust vents I should say. It's going to help keep that airflow moving through the jacket. And then you've got some adjustability right here at the waistline. As you can see, it's a pretty stout and strong Velcro there, but if you need to pull any excess material, you can easily do so. Pat, go ahead and face the back for me, sir. A little bit of accordion stretch right here at the top, in between the shoulders. We've got this large panel of that full grain leather cowhide, and you do have a D3O at the back as well. Icon is one of those brands, there's not many out there, but there's a few, but Icon is one of them that like to include the back protector with their jacket, so I'll certainly accept that, and I'm always glad that they do, because that's one less thing that you got to worry about. Slight drop seat here towards the bottom of the jacket with that Icon logo, giving you the coverage when you're bent over in that more aggressive riding position. Now, Pat, go ahead and face the front for us. Let's open this bad boy up. Now, I mentioned a bit of a caveat with that waterproof drop liner, right? It's interesting because the thermal liner actually goes over top of the waterproof liner. So then you've got a thermal, then you've got, thank you, Pat, for undoing that for me. So you've got a thermal, and then this goes over your waterproof liner, which we don't usually see. Usually it's the opposite. Your thermal goes on the inside, then your waterproof layer would go over top of that. So a bit of a miss for me. There's no way around it. I really want that waterproof layer on the outermost layer if it's not going to be laminated to the exterior of the jacket. So kind of odd, because I think most people would pair these. You know, that waterproof layer helps block the wind. It helps, you know, keep you warm in addition to that thermal liner. So I don't know, you can mix and match. You can wear just the waterproof liner if you just need a little bit of, you know, wind blocking, but you do have this thermal on the inside as well. So again, I just wish that waterproof layer went over top of the thermal. Don't want to harp on it too much here, but very thin when it comes to the thermal, but it is going to help give you a slight advantage when it's a little bit colder out there. Otherwise, on the inside of this jacket, you're just going to have this mesh lining on the inside. You don't have any connection zippers, but you do have a Napoleon pocket over there on the left as well. But otherwise, pretty straightforward on the interior of this jacket. Pat, you can go ahead and zip that up. So hopefully on the next iteration, they update that with the waterproof drop liner there. I think they executed everything else very well. I think they're adding a good bit of comfort. We've got great armor incorporated here. I like the full grain cowhide leather. It's going to break in very well. It's going to have a nice, it does have a nice hand to it, I should say. It's very comfortable. I think this is very much a premium jacket from Icon. I just think update that waterproof liner, and this is going to be a home run for a lot of riders out there. Of course, if you're looking for more details, click that info button. That's going to take you to the product page where you can take a closer look at this jacket, take a look at some alternative options, and if you have any additional questions about this jacket or any other gear you might be looking at, please don't hesitate to reach out to our customer service team. They're all riders, more than happy to get you pointed in the right direction. Thanks for hanging out with Pat and I and taking a closer look at the Icon Motorhead 3 jacket. I'm Brandon. Keep it pinned.